Hey, hey, good morning. Happy Memorial Day to you guys here in the States. We're kicking it live on Hot 105. Give me a second. I need to sign in where you guys sign in so that I can see your comments. So this is the webinar track. The marketer track. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see who's David and Ann Feinstein. There they are, hovering in position. Good to see you guys. So we're seeing who's the dedicated people in the States who are actually logging in on Memorial Day weekend. Check in and say hello. Anyone else wants to say hi? Fun topic this month. I'm going to talk about five training topics for you to train with your organization this month. So, and then I'll see any questions you guys have. So actually, four. So three that are Rosara. Good to see you. Three that are for training your whole team, and then one which is only for your leaders. Hola, mi amigo Herman. Just a reminder, privacy. Do not share this. This is link only for members who are in the program. This is what you paid your dues for. And one other reminder, my ebook that I just put out, Leadership Strategies. I offered it to the first 1,000. They went like that. I'm upped it to 10,000, and I may go even more than that. So I just want to get that out there. So if you have not shared that with your team, man, you're losing out. Because I can tell you, the people who read it and are using it and putting it into practice and getting their team to read it, they are seeing the difference in duplication, in growing their team. I'm really proud of that. I think it's, the lessons are really simple but elegant. Where's, can I put that? No, I don't have the URL. But anyway, if you go to, I should have put, anyway, I'll get the URL later, or I'll send it out in the email to follow up. Actually, I'll put it in the group. Or someone else, if you've got it handy, if you read it, just put it in the group, because I really do think it'll make a difference for you. First, what I want to talk about is Circle Up training for people after your events. I want to talk about hosting the sponsorship line, and I want to talk about the point of no return. Those are three topics to train with your whole team. And then I want to do the leadership only training, which is how to identify when you have team members at risk of quitting, and train that just for your leaders. So Circle Up, this is a very simple concept, but I'm just amazed at how many people don't teach this, or taught it once 2 years ago and then never followed up, and then they don't even look at their own events. In other words, you're going around, you're speaking to your team, and then you're not seeing if this is in place afterward at your events. So here's the concept of Circle Up, is we tell, you've got a presentation in a hotel. It's an opportunity presentation. In other words, there's specific content created for guests to look at your opportunity and decide if it's the right one for them. So whether it's a video, whether it's PowerPoint slides, whether it's just people on a stage, if it's a whiteboard, whatever it is. So here's a presentation for candidates. The idea is you train your people how to do the Circle Up after the event. So they've got 5 guests there. Every one of their guests who come, they meet them, they chat them up, they take them around, they introduce them to the speaker or speakers who are going to be going that night. They introduce them to leaders in the team. They introduce them to other people who have commonalities with them. If they're Jewish, they introduce them to Jewish people. If they're nurses, they introduce them to nurses. If they're gay, they introduce them to gay people. If they're professors, they introduce them to academia people. Meaning, we want them to say, oh, I'm a truck driver. That guy's a truck driver. This must be a good business for people who are truck drivers. They just create some common experiences, some common relationships. Then you let them know. And by the way, I'm going to come and get you afterward. We're just going to circle up the chairs here and we're going to chat about what you saw and answer any questions that you have. And I've got some samples for you, right? So we create that, so you train them to create that expectation for the candidates that they have. And then that's what we do. So the presentation finishes. The last speaker hopefully has talked about timing and positioning and urge them to get their questions answered, get some samples, get the take-home packet. All of that stuff has been done from the main stage. So then they go, you teach them to gather their people and put them around in the circle. And what we want to do is create social proof. We want to get that first person who's ready to join, which creates the social proof for the other people to join. And one other really key thing, if somebody's really negative, we want to get them out of the event quickly as possible. Just get that energy out of the room. So we go around, the thing finishes. We go over to Becky and David and, hey, what do you think? Let's get, oh, wow, that's great. Set your chairs here. I'm going to get a couple other people and I'll be right back. Then we go and we talk to Julio, and oh my God, that was so boring. I missed American Idol for this. We could tell right away. Guys, just, hey, put your arm around them, start walking them toward the door. Hey, thanks for coming. I appreciate you taking the time. Here's a packet of information. If you see anything changes your mind, but I just appreciate you were here and we want to get them out of the room as quickly as possible. Go to the next person, bring them over to the circle, go to the next. We just kind of circle up the chairs. That's what the name comes from. And then we're looking for the person with the fire in their eyes. We're looking for the person who really gets it, right? So when you find that person, the exact language I like to say is, hey, do you get this? And obviously you're looking for that person that has that fire and it looks like they already did. Great. Here's what needs to happen next. Not what do you think? Well, what about this did you like? On a scale of 1 to 3, I don't like any of that corny stuff. I'm just, hey, do you get this? Did you get this? And then our job is to guide the prospect through the process. So I like to say, here's what needs to happen next. We need to get you enrolled. I want to lock you in a spot before I go to bed tonight, because as you heard from the stage, timing is positioning, and then we're going to set up the first event, and I'm going to come and help you introduce this to the people in your world. That creates the social proof for the other people, and it also creates the fear of loss, because if the presentation is done, its job is talked about positioning, they're thinking, wow, so that person joined, they're probably above me. If I join next, maybe these other people will be below me, and it just creates a little dynamic, right? And that dynamic is real. So that's the key thing, right? That's the key concept of the Circle Up. So here's the question. You guys are leaders. Are your teams doing that? Or is it time, as I think it is, for you, for me, for everybody, that we train on this concept again for our teams? First one. Second one, hosting the sponsorship line. As far as I know, I'm the only person who's ever trained this in our space. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people are opposed to it. They got this belief, well, the top leaders, they make all that money. They should pay for everything everywhere they go. Why would you want new distributors paying for a diamond director who comes to town? I have the exact opposite mentality. If you are a Starfleet commander with your company and you make $50,000 a month, I can guarantee you have a huge, huge team of tens of thousands of people. And you spend tens of thousands of dollars every year on plane tickets and hotels and things to go around and teach your people, train your team, help them be more successful. And every single month, the most important thing you will do is go into your back office and look at leaders you have developing, and then deciding who do you want to get on a plane and go down and support. And the idea of hosting the sponsorship line is one way to make your market more attractive, that people will want to come to it. So let me give you a real world scenario. Just happened to me 2 weeks ago. I make this deal with some other leaders in my company, where we say, hey, let's do a tour. We're going to hit a bunch of countries, bunch of markets, and let's send people to places where they don't have a team. So in other words, Mary will go to this country where she has no team, and Natalie, who lives in that country, will go to Mary's country where she has no team. And that way they get a fresh face. So it's a new person to edify, create some excitement for the event. So I think this is a great plan. I'm all in, and I scheduled 4 or 5 cities where I don't have teams or almost no team. And I agree to do this, and other leaders in my company agree to do the same thing. That's right. Ann and David actually sent the car from Knight Rider to pick me up. So when I went to New York for them, and I'm going to talk about kind of how that fits in the thing in a minute. But first, this tour that I went on. So I go to a city in a country in a city which will remain anonymous. And there's nobody. I have a driver at the airport. He's got my sign. Great. I go to him. It's raining like crazy. So he says, hey, let me go and get the car. Wait here by the exit and get the car. So I'm waiting for him to bring the car around. And 3 or 4 people come. Oh, Randy, you're here. My flight landed like 15 minutes early. I always fly first class. One of the big reasons I fly first class is because I'm going to get to customs, one of the first people from the plane. If you say, well, I don't fly first, I'm saving money, okay? You could be adding 45 minutes to an hour and a half to your customs clearing time. That's just the reality. You get on a big plane and 300 people and there's 240 in front of you. There's 4 windows open in customs. Do the math, people. And if another plane just landed before you, do the math, right? So my plane lands like 10, 15 minutes early. I'm the first guy. There's nobody in customs. It's not that big of a city, but it's an international flight. We're the only international flight. I come in, I get passport, boom, I wait there. So the welcome committee that this city has arranged for me, nobody's there until, of course, I'm waiting at the exit. And 3 or 4 of them come over and welcome me, and they're, got balloons they haven't blown up yet, and a banner and everything. So I'm gracious, and I say hi to them, and I take a picture with each of them. A few more straggle in, I take a picture of each of them. And then they say, oh, we've got so-and-so on the phone, which is, of course, the big high-ranked leader in the area. And she's on her way to the airport, and there's traffic, Will you wait for her? No. You want to welcome me in your city? Be there at the airport waiting, okay? Don't tell me there's traffic. Don't expect me. I've been just traveling for 5 hours. No, I don't want to hang around this cheesy, sleazy, small town airport waiting for somebody because they couldn't be at my welcoming committee. I don't care what your rank is. So I say, tell them be at the, they can meet me at the hotel, okay? But it's just like if you ever call a town car, right? They're always there 20 minutes before you land. They always, I mean, first of all, every airline has a website. Every airline has an app. You can find out if a plane is going to land early, right? So if you're going to welcome somebody, welcome them. Do your homework. Find out, right? So I go to the hotel. That person is waiting at the hotel, and they've got about 10 of their people there to meet me. So I meet them. I'm gracious. I take pictures with everyone. I say hi to everyone. And I say to this particular leader, so how can I add value to you? Because this is what I like to do, right? So I say, how can I add value to you? Would you like to have lunch with me, to have lunch with these people that you got here? Or I can give you an hour at 3 o'clock, and you can bring whatever your key people are, and I'm happy to spend an hour with them privately before the event tonight. Oh, it'd be great at 3 o'clock if you can, meet with my key people. Okay, great. So set it up at 3. So I need to get lunch and check my email and, get ready for stuff now. So then this said, well, you're going to have lunch now? Can I have lunch with you? And I just offered a choice of lunch or 3 p.m. because I need some downtime. But you know me, I'm such a gracious guy. So I say, all right, if you'd like to join me for lunch, I'm going to go up. It's on the 2nd floor. I'm going to go up now. Even before I go to my room, I'm starving. I've been traveling, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't eat the crap on the airplane. And then she says, well, can I bring these other 10 people with me for lunch? I'm like, no, I'd rather not. Because what is going to happen? I know if I have lunch with those 10 people, they're going to interrogate me the whole time. Hey, I got a prospect, my brother-in-law. What do I say to him? I'm not even going to get a chance to eat. Because that's just the reality of our world, right? When we have a team luncheon or a team dinner, it isn't about eating. It's about their chance to ask you a bunch of questions. So I say, no, let's just you and me do this privately. And then, I will meet with all of your people at 3 o'clock. So I have lunch with the person. I get up to leave. They give me the check. I buy lunch. Okay, that's not the way I do it. But, it is what it is. So then at 3 o'clock, I go and I meet with these, 15 people. And I say, hey, can somebody get me a bottle of water, please? So they order me a bottle of water. I spend an hour giving amazing content with these people. Then I spend another 10 minutes taking pictures because we have to do a picture with everyone. And then we need every couple. And then we need the people from just this city. And then we need the picture with the upline. And I have people who take literally 9 different pictures with me. But I do it all. And then I go and I pay for my bottle of water to the bartender because nobody paid for my water. So what's the moral of the story? What are the odds you think that I will ever go back and do an event for that leader in that city ever again? Right? Train your people how to host the sponsorship line. In other words, I train my team. You meet them at the airport. You pick them up at the airport. You ask you have bottled water waiting for them at the airport. You ask them, hey, do you want to get a tour of the city? Would you like to go to this amazing local restaurant? Would you rather just go to your hotel and get room service and catch up on your calls and your emails? What would serve you? Is there anything you forgot to pack that you need? Is there any specific sites that you would like to? Would you like to do the tourist thing? Would you like to see the local attractions? Or would you like to just, decompress in your room? Are you available? Are you willing? Would you like to meet the local leaders while you're here? How long will you have after the event before you need us to rescue you? In other words, anytime, up to 300 people, I take photos, sign books, do everything. Once we get above 300 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, I can't start taking photos because if I do, it never ends. So I've got to have rescuers and I'll say, okay, here's the deal. After the event tonight, I'm good for 20 minutes to take pictures. But after 20 minutes, somebody has to rescue me because I can't be the bad guy. And when your guest speaker comes to town, and the same thing applies to your CEO, your president, your top corporate people, when they come to your market, take care of them. Okay, you don't have to buy lunch for the VP of marketing or whatever. They have an expense account. They're going to handle that. They want to pick up the tab that shows their boss how they're building the market. Great, let them. Leader, I'm never going to let them pay for anything. So if I get a diamond, they fly to my town, they're not going to be able to reach in their pocket for anything. They can't buy a drink. They can't buy a meal. I'm not going to allow them to pay for their hotel room. I'm going to have the hotel rented. I'm going to have it checked in already and their card. So when they get at the airport, I'm going to say, here's your room key. You're in, room 10, 15 on the concierge floor. They have a concierge lounge from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. They have hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and breakfast is in the lounge from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Gym is on the 3rd floor if you want to do that. There's going to be a basket in their room of goodies, some healthy snacks, some bottled water, all that stuff, right? So I want that leader, when they're thinking, again, they're in their back office figuring where can they visit this month? I want to say, let me go to Gage's market because he knows how to take care of me, right? So what's the moral? You have to train your people to do that. And I look at like when I launched this company that I'm in, New Lines, they hadn't worked with me before, and they're like, we're not making any money yet. You want us to rent a hotel for this speaker? I say, I'm bringing you in $1 million producer. They're paying $1,000 or $2,000 for their plane ticket. Yeah, pay $169. Have everybody chip in, pay $169 for the room, and pick them up at the airport and buy them dinner or buy them lunch or whatever. Because they think, okay, this diamond makes $50,000 a month. Yeah, but if everywhere they go, they buy lunch for all the leaders, because that's what we're going to do, top leaders, right? We're going to say, hey, let's have give me all your leaders, pick your top 15 or 20 people. Let's have a leadership dinner before the event. And, let's have everybody who reached this rank, whatever. Say the first, rank is supervisor. And, hey, everybody, all the new supervisors, I want to have a private breakfast with them, the next morning before I go to the airport. You pay for all those lunches and dinners and leaders thing, and it doesn't matter if you make $50,000 a month. You'll be spending $35,000 a month to go and service those people. So I don't even want them to have that calculation. Yeah, Ann is right. You figure it in your budget. In other words, okay, the meeting room costs this. There's a hotel room. We'll do a dinner or whatever. You split it out, figure it out, and make it work. And if they're going to invest in a plane ticket to come in my market, I'm going to invest in a hotel room for them to be there. All right, that's just the way I am. And that has served me well. But it's the opposite of what people think, because people say, oh, they're the top leader. They make all this money. We don't have to pay for anything. Let's bring in a dozen of our people and let them buy dinner for us. Oh, come on. The dinner, that bill could be $2,000. You get a dozen people, a nice steakhouse, and people are having drinks and desserts and whatever. And sometimes they don't have that many people in the market. They're doing a thing to support a new line there. It's a big investment for them to make that other lines are going to get the benefit of. And Ann is mentioning gifts to the speaker. Here's what I will say. I get a lot of gifts, and I give a lot of gifts to the maids because I always tip the housekeepers in my hotel. And when you give me that beautiful 10-pound coffee table picture book of the beauties of your market, that ain't going in my suitcase because I've got no checked baggage and I'm going to travel with a carry-on. And when you give me this beautiful figurine commemorative plate of, the whatever, it ain't going home with me. So you want to give it, don't ask me what I did with it, right? Better not give on ours away. I don't even remember what yours was. I just remember the kit car, right? But I remember the kit car, right? And it's funny, we were literally on the airplane. We were talking, I was with Eric Gamio and Luca Maloney. We were going to New York, work with the Feinsteins line. And we were somehow we got onto TV shows growing up. And Eric mentioned Knight Rider, that was the coolest show. And I love Knight Rider, of course. And then when we got there, Ann had a guy in her team he's got a big car collection. And they had made like 4 of the kit cars for the TV show. And he had bought one of those cars. So they met us at the airport with the kit car. And that was the highlight of Eric Gamio's, year. So now, what do you think if Eric Gamio's thinking, where could I go next month to support my people? Oh yeah, the Money Club. Yeah, I have it. See, that's a nice little easy to pack light thing. Gamio's going to say, wow, I remember how Ann and David took care of it. So, okay, you get the concept. You probably heard me talk about it before. Question, do you need to train your people on it? Do you need to, like the same thing, this line that I went to, I literally, I know they're not going to protect me. I know that if I start taking pictures, and there was like 1,000 people at that event that night, and I know if I start taking pictures there's no one going to rescue me, and I will be there for 90 minutes or 2 hours after the event, because nobody will organize it. Nobody will put them in a line. Nobody will say, no, you can't take one with you, one with your spouse, one with your upline, one with the team, and one from the city. Okay, it's, and you need someone. In other words, so if I say, no, guys, I got to go, I'm tired, no, I'm the bad guy. Somebody has to say, hey, sorry, Randy has a meeting, Randy has a conference call, Randy has to be on it, Randy has to prepare for the next stop in the journey. We need to take him away, sorry, and right. I know that nobody can do that for me. So I didn't do pictures that night, right? Whereas when I was with Erman's Market, and then the GM came up to me and said, what do we do? I said, don't worry, I have a team here. They'll protect me. I don't worry about it because my team is trained, right? All right. Third thing I want to talk about is the point of no return. This is another thing to train on. This is my secret patent pending intellectual property. So you better credit me when you train this. I'll draw this out. Okay, so this is the starting point of somebody's network marketing career. We have 2 possible trajectories, right? I have to see this is delayed. This Google thing is like 5 seconds after my other one, when I actually say it. So trajectory going up or trajectory going down, right? Now, this dotted line is the point of no return. Now, the way this works is if we got the upward one, the activity, I misspelled that, activity, and then ease, or on the downward line, it's ease, and then activity. So let me make sure this is shown right here. So what we want to do, we talk about leverage, we talk about creating residual income, we talk about creating passive residual income. So, oops, let me go back. This is really weird with this 5-second delay. So in other words, what we want to teach with people is, hey, this is a 2 to 4 year plan. Particularly 2 years. God, it's not easy to do. So if you put activity first, then we're going to get to the point where then you have ease. You have created a foundation that, wow, you try this way. Actually, here we go. So if we create the activity, it will turn into ease. But if we start with ease, then we're going to get to the point where we have to do activity. At the point where we really want to be having our passive residual income, we're not going to have it because we started with ease. So you know how it is. There's so much rah-rah, so much hype. There's a, you know, we got two really powerful money games going on right now. One, we have a company that's, or a couple of them, but one in particular who's promoting the Bitcoin currency as a network marketing program, and it's just a money game. And then we have another one with a like a wearable. That's I mean, they're talking about they're advertising. They got websites promoting people making $4 million a month, $3 million a month, $2 million a month. I mean, so we have to counter program against that, guys. You know, those money games are more brazen than they have ever been in any time in our history. There's never been a time, and I've been doing this for more than 3 decades, nobody would have ever made an income claim of millions of dollars a month. And now we have that. So we have to counter program against that. We've got to talk about 2 to 4 year plan or 2 to 5 year plan and investing in the business, your time, your money, your resources for a couple of years to create the ongoing residual income. So draw out that chart and do some training on that and create that culture in your organization. So 3 things for gold and diamond. Yeah, really? Those are coming back around again. Never ends. Well, at least the diamonds will hit the category unique and exclusive, right? As opposed to trying to build a company on a currency. I mean, it'd be like if you started a network marketing company with the US dollar or the Japanese yen or the euro. It's just a currency is a method of exchange. It's not a product in and of itself. That's what makes that thing so crazy. All right, last thing, to train with your leaders. Teach them the warning signs of what makes somebody a high flight risk. Meaning, good chance these people are going to quit. So 2, 4, 6, 7 symptoms I want you to train on. Number 1, minimum points. CD, PV, SV, whatever it is in your company. What's the minimum you need to get qualify for the pay plan? And if that's what you have somebody doing, they are a high flight risk. Why? Because they're buying the minimum. They're buying what it takes to get qualified. And that's not likely a person who is using and experiencing and getting great results with the products or services that you have. Second symptom, they stop doing daily self-development. You need to be mindful of that. You need to be talking to people about that in terms of what are they doing? What are the books they read? Do you have a structured program? Even if you don't have a structured program, ask them, what are you reading? What's the last book you read? What book are you reading right now? Hey, what are you doing for your self-development? Well, I'm busy. We just had a baby. Okay, that's a warning sign. Third thing to look for is they're desperate for validation from outside sources. Meaning, Tony Robbins just endorsed the business, or Robert Kiyosaki said that, it's nice that those people say nice things about our profession or our business. But when you see people that need that outside validation, that means they don't have the internal validation. So that's a danger sign. Fourth thing, they're always bringing you examples of other people struggling or other lines struggling. Why? Why is this a danger sign? Because why is the reason they're doing this? Is it really because they're so concerned because they heard about the line in Minnesota that isn't growing? or they heard about this person across town who hasn't broke rank in 2 years? Or is it because they're looking for validation of why this won't work for them? Some systemic, economic, worldwide, whatever, external factor which is preventing them from reaching success. Okay? So look for, it's not just me. I heard that, Marty over in Detroit, he's having the same problem. Or, well, it's true because it isn't just me, because look at Becky Ann, and she came in 2 years ago and she's only at this rank. So if this thing really worked, why isn't she a millionaire already? When you hear that, this is a dangerous sign. This person is a high flight risk. Next one would be refusal to invest in their business. So this could be they don't invest in tools. So you create this new special report. You've got this new catalog. Oh, what? These catalogs cost how much? And you want me to give them away for free? Or you want me to give samples to every prospect? You know how much these samples cost? Big danger sign. Or events, you've got your event coming. Oh my God, I joined this business to make money, not to spend money. You want me to get on an airplane, rent a hotel room, buy a ticket. If this is so good, why don't they just give me, come to my house and do everything for me and train me for free? What are they telling you? They're telling you good chance they're going to quit. Number 6, they can't tell you their dream. Plain and simple, right? If we've done a good new member orientation, a good initiation, we know what the dream is for that person. And they can tell us. If they can't tell us, hey, listen, it's a tough business. We're going to face rejection, dropouts, no-shows. It's all in the game, yo. And if you don't know what your dream is, you're probably not going to stay facing those things. So it's really important that we make sure that the people who join our team, they know why they're doing it. They know what their dream is. And the 7th one is just they're not using your products. Plain and simple. Yeah, maybe they do get the minimum points every month or whatever, but my company makes beverages, right? We have drinks and coffees and teas. And I was with one of my people in an airport. We were flying from an event to an event. I don't remember. I bring him into the lounge, that I have the membership to, and he goes over to the coffee machine and gets a coffee. So I don't say anything, but I say, wow, I don't think this person has a future with my company, because he doesn't drink his own product. He goes and drinks the product that someone else provides. So those are the 7 warning signs. So, how would you handle those? Well, obviously you create structured self-development program. Maybe you need to improve your member orientation, your training, so people really do know what their goals are, what their dreams are. You make sure they're building a customer culture, a retailing customer. You've got to do enough product training, edifying the products, product knowledge, so that they want those products. They understand why they should be using those products, that they don't see those products as this is the conduit for how I make money in the comp plan. They have to value those products in and of themselves. And if people don't, it means that's your fault, my fault. We're not doing a great enough job as leaders that they value the process. So that's it. I'm out of material. But that's your homework for this month. I gave you 4 things, 3 things to teach with the whole team, and 1 thing to teach with your leaders. I hope you work that in your mix for the month of June, because I think those are really important foundational training that will make a big difference in terms of your duplication in the months and years ahead. So I'll open it up. Any questions you guys got, comments, I'm happy to take. We don't have that many people on because, of course, it's a holiday, but if you're on, here's your golden opportunity. And happy Memorial Day to you guys here. Do your barbecue, your cookouts, your games, your picnics, but remember, don't drink and drive, and remember what we're honoring today for you guys here in the States. Thanks, David. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's just, and it's just, we all know so much stuff, but sometimes we gotta go back and look and say, okay, is this culture set up in my team? Is this culture happening? Or do I need to work on this? Do I need to do another training on this because we haven't created that culture? Okay, y'all, if there's no questions, I'm gonna get to my next workout, which is delayed for you guys today. All right, thanks for being on, everybody. I don't know who else was on. Just the people who commented, I saw you. This is the culture I love. Yeah, it is. It's good stuff. All right, great to see you. Some of you, I will see you in Panama later this week. So travel safe, you guys there. The rest of you, good luck. May the force be with you. Have an amazing week. And look for the brief. Will probably be Tuesday or Wednesday once Lornette is back and can format it and email it out to everybody. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Peace.